Already, take it away, this'll do.
Hi everyone, I'm Thistle, and I am so excited to be running Death's Door for you today. Critique, do we have a winner for the bid war for game language?
Yes, of course. It looks like it is Japanese at $175. We raised $355 with that bid war. Thank you for your donations.
Awesome, thank you so much. All right, y'all, I think we'll just hop right into the run. And yeah, once we get started, I'll do a quick intro. I'll intro my couch. And yeah, we're ready to go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So yeah, hi everyone. Hi again. I'm Thistledew. And this is Death's Door, any percent, no major glitches. The goal of this run is to defeat the Lord of Doors and reach the end credits. And today I am joined by two lovely friends, Allie and Quack. Feel free to say hi.
Hello. I'm super excited to be here. Good luck, Thistle.
Hi, I'm Allison.
Awesome. Yeah, so Death's Door is an isometric adventure game. We play as this crow, who we affectionately call our protagonist. And right now we are showing up to work as a Reaper of Souls. We've just been given our first assignment, which is to go and fight. Well, first of all, instead of going through this whole area to get to our first fight, we can just shoot that switch through the wall. And now we reach the demonic forest spirit. I guess I can let y'all talk a little bit about this game while I focus on
Yeah, of course.
the first
So
fight
right
of the
away,
game.
you'll notice that Thistle is demonstrating the sort of basic attack rotation in Death's Door. The protagonist comes equipped with a sword, with a couple of different basic attacks, and the main alternating pattern, without any other sort of strategy superseding it, is going to be mixing in one heavy attack followed by 2 light attacks, which is the fastest possible damage rotation for the most damage, so you don't get the laggy animation from finishing a light combo. But just dealing a ton of damage to the demonic forest spirit starts this cutscene where we get dragged into the main plot of the game here.
Yep, and here we are in the Lost Cemetery. This serves as kind of our central hub for the game. We'll get into the story in a little bit, but this old crow here that just stole our soul will send us on an errand that takes us to 3 different areas in this game. But they're all connected to this central hub that we have to navigate through first. These are doors. They're essentially save points and checkpoints. Once I claim one, if I die or save and quit, I will respawn at that door. The pink orb that I just picked up is soul. That is the main currency in this game. We'll be using it to get some upgrades throughout this run. And right now, we're kind of just doing a run around. You'll notice these gates that have pink locks on them. Those indicate that we have to kill all of the enemies in the screen before we can proceed. Cool, and then we're just gonna pick up some extra soul and head into the first major arena in this game. So this game is full of combat arenas. They're super fun. I'll let y'all talk about it while I start beating up some enemies.
Yeah, so this is the first arena, and it's going to show, like, with all the grunts and the thing, we have a different scaling for our strength that we're going to have. And all the grunts, which are a basic enemy found in every biome, they all die to 1 heavy and then 1 regular hit with our strength scaling. This arena shows us the first new enemy, which is a backpack, which is a headless grunt that actually sees us when they turn around, because the backpack has eyes, but they have no head themselves, and it's already done. Every arena like that is pretty scripted. Like, everything will always be in the same spot, so if you learn the choreography, it'll always be the same output, which is super good and adds a lot to the skill cap of the area.
Yeah, one of the most fun things about this run is the fact that all of the arenas are predetermined. We know exactly what enemies will spawn, and there's some RNG in enemy behavior, but no RNG in terms of what will happen between the waves. So it's a lot of very cool choreography that I'm really excited to show off.
moment ago, we just passed by an NPC named Steadhone, who for our purposes is entirely irrelevant to this speedrun. Steadhone serves in the casual playthrough to teach you your different varieties of slash, asking you to slash him, heavy slash him, and slash him out of a roll, and then never shows up again except in cutscenes in any percent, meaning as speedrunners, we will be dutifully ignoring him for the rest of the day.
And one thing we actually do in a lot of our cutscenes is a text skipper, which will straight up just like make it as fast as a human could possibly mash, because it's a lot of mashing in this game. So we're going to use that in a lot of cutscenes. So we will see very little of Steadhone.
And this arena introduces you to some mages, and also a core mechanic with mages, which is deflecting projectiles. When you strike a projectile back at an enemy, it deals double the damage of the attack that struck it back. So you'll be able to see that by charging heavies, there is a 1, 2, 3 scaling where your light attack does 1, plus whatever your upgrades are. Your heavy attack does 2, and your full charged heavy does 3. So with a full charged heavy deflect, you can actually one-shot a mage like Thistle did there.
Yeah, we'll try to deflect as much as possible to take advantage of the fact that it does double damage.
Now we're making our way over to first, difficult boss. The Demonic Forest Spirit's not too bad, as we just do the same little rotation and just don't get hit. But this boss is the first one that gives us a bit of trouble. This is Guardian of the Door.
It's a walking castle. So during this fight, we'll try to kind of stand between its legs and then squeeze back here. So normally during that bit, some wind will push you away from the Guardian of the Door. By squeezing behind it, we prevent ourselves from being pushed away, and we can continue to do damage just like that. That was a pretty good fight.
That was very clean.
Very clean.
This is also standing against the wall here because as the castle collapses, it is entirely possible to be pushed off of the cliff there before the bridge spawns in. Just a little bit of safety.
Yeah,
luckily with full health, it's not a huge issue, but if you die there before the bridge spawns, you will have to redo the boss fight.
Yep, I have definitely rollen off on 1 health before because that gate helpfully lowers itself before the bridge spawns. And then...
So here's some Mario 64 sewers that I think we only used this one time, unfortunately.
Yeah, the plunge attack. So when you're in midair and you hit attack on the crow, it performs a plunge that can take you through the sewers. Fun fact, entire casual playthrough did not realize that you could do that. I thought the entire time that there would be an ability pickup for that.
Yep, hard same.
So this is Grey Crow.
Yeah, and this is Death's Door from the hit video game Death's Door. That's what that text is.
So what we're skipping through right now is essentially the Grey Crow giving us the main motivation for this game. He has stolen our soul from the demonic forest spirit to try to open Death's Door, but it's not enough soul. So he's about to send us to these 3 different areas around this world to collect 3 more giant souls, which will help us open Death's Door. And the reason for... Oh, go for it.
I was just going to say, Death's Door is set up in a sort of classical Zelda-like fashion, where the major areas of the game are divided into a sort of introductory dungeon or area that leads to you getting an ability, and then a second, deeper dungeon in each of the major areas that leads to a boss. The speedrun routing for this game is such that we're actually going to do a tour of the map to get all of the abilities first, because the last of the abilities is a very powerful movement ability. And so we'll tour all of the abilities in quick succession, and then tour all of the bosses right towards the end of the run.
We'll also be doing the bosses in reverse order compared to what's intended for a casual playthrough. So now we are in the Estate of the Urnwitch. This is the first pre-dungeon area. and introduces this puzzle mechanic of dipping our arrows into fire and using them to light braziers that will unlock gates. Normally, you're expected to kind of light both of these, but we can actually dip the arrow into the fire pit, light it on fire, and then mostly shoot it diagonally to solve all of these puzzles faster.
So we'll be taking heavy advantage of the isometric nature of the game for a lot of small skips, including this major one right here. Thistle's going to get up onto this flower pot and then onto the hedges here to dodge that NPC whose name is Pothead, because his head is a pot. We're actually going to be performing it twice, once to gather this soul right here, and then a second time to actually progress deeper into a state.
Yeah, this is one of the few tricks that is like really hard to do on controller. So we actually have to use mouse and keyboard for this trick, but mouse and keyboard is a far inferior method to play the isometric game. So we actually use controller for almost everything, minus a handful of tricks like that, and some specific aiming with the arrows. This is a couple small arenas next to each other. We'll introduce a few other mechanics, such as these purple pots that explode, and the new archer enemy, which will just shoot an arrow just like ours. And yeah, they can be kind of rude sometimes.
Yeah, right side estate, always kind of spooky.
Yeah, especially because these enemies will have no limit to how far they can chase you. So Thistle's going to flip this lever, and then the grunts here, as well as that mage, are going to be following us for a little while.
It's actually helpful here. So the white pips underneath my health on the top left, those are ticks of mana. Each mana allows me to shoot one arrow right now, and in order to replenish my mana, I need to hit things, such as the enemies that are chasing me, or you'll notice some mushrooms on the ground sometimes, or other breakable objects. So if I do that, that gives me 2 more ticks of mana, and we definitely need to manage our mana here in order to be able to complete these fire puzzles. So we actually do keep some of these enemies around and alive on purpose in order to make sure that we never run out and have to go find some mushrooms or other things to hit.
Very clean. The auto-aim there does not super love shooting an arrow at that explosive pot on the right. So there are some very frustrating moments where runners can shoot like 3 arrows and have them all hit the wall behind the pot. We love seeing that in one.
Cool, and now we're in the clear. We are essentially going to be running in a straight line now from here to the actual manor of the Urnwitch. Would now be a good time for donations, maybe 1 or 2?
Yeah.
Of course. We have this $50 donation from Upper Casserole. It says, Crow gamers can't stop raving about the impeccable, talented Thistle do, like watching poultry in motion. Best of luck with the line murder, Thistle. Hope your run isn't too unpheasant or awkward. The forest is calling for some foul feather, so please remember your umbrella for the Lord of Doors. I can't wait to watch the firequackers.
Upper, you
so
can't use all of the bird puns. You have to save some for the rest of us.
All right, so here we just upgraded our strength to strength 2, which will be useful for continuing to scale up with the grunts in the other areas for a lot of the combat. That was also Darwin, our fun friend, who has 4 eyes and a pair of glasses and a monocle. So if you want to do the math about how many eyes that is, that's on you.
Too many eyes. Behind the scenes, each strength upgrade is an additional 0.2 damage. So perhaps it's better to think of upgrading our sword's base light slash damage from 10 to 14 with 2 strength, and then doing some more math with enemy health. Also, right here next to this fire pit, you're going to see Thistle pick up a seed, which is our healing system, because the protagonist does not have an innate way to heal himself. Instead, you need to plant a seed in a flower pot, which will spawn a healing flower that you can then pick up to restore your health to full. it is possible to beat the game without picking up a single one. And so there are a couple like that first seed that are very easy en route safeties, but generally the strategy, as is so common in games like this, is don't get hit.
That should hit. That we call Salem Skip. It is very swag. Instead of doing the fire pit puzzle in this room, you can fire an arrow from the previous room and have it light up the entrance to this arena for you.
Yeah, that's actually a really cool skip because it gets us around having to use the mouse for a lineup later. So for this arena, we're actually fighting an enemy that the community calls Lickitongues, and very quickly dispatched that there. We're going to be fighting a few more of them, but this is the first one that'll show us how they work. They can be quite annoying.
And so the main mechanic of these Tier 1 dungeons is, in each of them, you're going to see Thistle go to 4 different arenas or obstacles to pick up a crow soul, to which 4 crow souls from each area will need to be freed, which will open the big door, in this case at the center of the manor here, to one final gauntlet before the ability. So the crow soul routing in manor involves the fact that there is a key to another door in each little segment of the manor. So we take the most economical path between all of the keys here.
Yep. And then there is a safety seed here, which I will grab. And coming up is a mini boss that we call the Quartz pot. This boss is a perfect demonstration of the iframes you get when you roll.
Nice.
Okay.
Very clean.
Yeah. At the start of the Curls roll, we do get some iframes. And so the Waltz pot that we just fought has a spin attack. If you iframe through it, it gives you invincibility against it for some short amount of time. Imploft doing Imploft things.
Yeah, this is Imploft. It's a loft full of imps, and it is probably the worst room in the game. These little baby imps can hit you through walls, but you cannot strike them back, and also, it's quite dark. This is a very early run killer, and also the imps love to chase you up the stairs, but that's very clean. Only one hit will absolutely take that.
And of course, the imps can also mess with your auto aim and make it take multiple hits to actually light up what you need to. So it could be a lot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Imploft might be hated.
And we're about to meet Grandma.
Hi, Grandma.
Have we met Grandma already?
Hello.
I think that was my
Not
first
yet.
Grandma.
That is
Yeah.
the first time.
So there's going to be recurring characters that we will see a few times in these areas. This one's going to be Grandma. We'll see her, I believe... Will we see her again in...
Not for a while, I don't think.
Not
Yeah,
for a while. Yeah. Not until we reach the second part of this dungeon. Yeah, so she
We'll
is
see.
one of the 3 giant souls that we are tasked with reaping. And normally she will show up to talk to us after we collect each of the crows. But since we save and quit most of the time, that's the only time we'll see her, at least for this part of the run. Okay, Lickitongue number 2.
And now the Lickitongues are going to be a little bit harder because though the fight's the same, they are going to be adding in a couple of grunts for this one. This will be one more that gets even more difficult.
Okay.
But that was dispatched of perfectly.
Yeah, in these fights, we try to focus down the Lickitongue first. If I had killed those grunts first and the fight continued to drag on, it would just continuously respawn new grunts. So the ideal is to time the Lickitongue defeat along with clearing the ads.
And as you've noticed throughout the manor, a lot of the puzzles here involve 4 pots that are themselves the key to a subsequent room. In this room, this is going to go for a strat where we actually lure one of these exploding pots to break one of them for you on your way up, very clean, so that you don't have to go all the way around and do some extra arrow management in order to hit it.
Yep. Auto aim? Nope.
Ooh,
There
auto
are
aim
2
not kind
pots
today.
Yeah, 2 pots on that shelf. Sometimes it's a toss-up which one will eat your auto aim, but luckily it's not too bad.
As we just saw right there, there's actually projectiles the enemies can shoot at you. And if you're in the middle of getting a cutscene like a door opening or a gate opening, sometimes the projectiles can continue to hit you from there, which can cause damage and potentially death if we're in the wrong spot at the wrong time.
Yeah, enemies
During
all
those
freeze during
animations.
cutscenes, but no projectiles do, which can be uniquely infuriating.
Yes. We skipped the puzzle in this room by utilizing the isometric nature of this game, rolling over a corner instead of whatever the intended route is.
Yeah, don't ask us what it is, it's been a minute.
Yeah. Okay, I'll just wait for this cycle. Mages are a little annoying because, as you can tell, if you miss damaging them, they will despawn and you have to wait for them to respawn. So in most of the arenas, from here on out, if there are mages, you'll see me trying to dispatch them as quickly as possible so we don't have to wait the extra cycle. Cool, we have our 4 crow souls here. So let's head on over to this big door, and I wonder what waits behind.
Yes, and in just a moment, I'd like to invite everyone to pay very, very close attention to the protagonist's animations. This is one. There will be a quiz on this later. But no, going through this big central door will take you back to the Hall of Doors, but back to this particular treasure chest.
Yeah, treasure. This is so exciting. Oh.
Poor bird.
Yeah. Welcome to our first Avarice, friends.
Yeah.
It is yet another combat arena, a little bit harder, a little bit longer than the ones that we've encountered before.
Yes, each Avarice has 4 waves to it. You'll tell that a wave is over when one of the braziers in the arena lights up. It is possible to be injured by a brazier if you're standing right next to it as it lights up. But just like regular combat arenas in the game, these Avarices are choreographed. The same enemies will spawn in the same patterns, so Thistle's just muscling on over to spawn positions and being ready to kill enemies effectively as they spawn. A little bit of a root grunt set there, but...
Yeah.
And of course, our friend Lickitung has to come back. But now associated with many other friends, like the pot enemies and the various imps.
Is now a good time for donations?
Yeah, with the conclusion of this Avarice, we're going to get a cutscene while we pick up a spell and then just do a walk back. So now is a great time for a fair number of donations.
Oh, great. We have a $25 donation from T. Coli. It says, let's go, this'll do. We've got $154 from Trogdor. It says, go, this'll go. I'm so excited to see you on GDQ and so appreciative of the warm and welcoming community you've cultivated. Marathon PB hype. I would also like to let everybody know that we do have that milestone incentive going. If we reach $137,174 before the end of the marathon, we will unlock a bonus game. And we also have that Super Metroid Watch opening cutscene incentive open. So if you donate towards that, you're also donating towards the bonus game. So go ahead, keep donating.
It's the umbrella.
Yeah, thank you so much to everyone who has contributed to the Fight the Final Boss with the Umbrella incentive. That is our umbrella. It is a nominally joke weapon / achievement hunter weapon that's only functionality is it deals half the damage of your sword. So we will be, I think, seeing the final boss with some very satisfying umbrella thwack noises instead of our usual sword.
I love the umbrella noise, so I'm looking forward to that. With our new Fireball ability, we are headed to the second area of this game. And we'll be taken there by our friend Leg Day here. We always clap for him. He's a very hard worker, operating this gondola night and day.
Why do they call him Leg Day?
We'll explain
I
it
don't know.
later.
Okay.
No, but taking the gondola to Ruins. Ruins is where the isometric nature of the game works its hardest both for and against us as runners, because just the layout of this area is very easy to get lost in. I know I spent many hours lost here casually, but it also is going to enable some quite entertaining skips taking advantage of some weird diagonals and other funky movement here. Ruins also introduces us to those vines that are automatic elevation, as well as new, stronger, greener grunts. Fortunately, though, because of the strength upgrades that Thistle has already gotten, they will once again continue to die in the heavy and light pattern, just like the grunts before.
Yep, we are also introduced to these lovely bomb plants. With one swipe, they will wind up and throw some bombs at your enemies and you, but more importantly, your enemies. I'm gonna kill a few extra enemies here to get to the proper amount of soul we'll need for our next upgrade. Because soul routing, especially for this segment of the run, is incredibly tight. Oh, that's one of the isometric exploits that Quack mentioned earlier. Instead of dealing with the bomb puzzle, where we have to open that wall, we just rolled right around it. And here's another one.
This one is a very precise one that can
Nice.
first try. Let's go.
Yeah, we roll onto that bomb wall to get over here, which saves us a trip around Mom's camp. We'll see her later anyway, but we call that skip Mom's skip because we don't actually say hi to her until after we've retrieved her horn, which is the item that we are after right now, going through the ruins.
Yes, for those of you playing along at home, Mom, friendly, lovely, low-key skippable. Grandma, nefarious, possibly evil, unavoidable. Hope this helps.
So yeah, this is another little arena just with some fire plants. Most arenas are just going to do one thing and just going to show us a new enemy type. As our scaling has changed, we still get to do the one heavy, one normal hit to get the grunts. And it's just going to continue being a pretty simple arena.
I'll kill this grunt. We have a fun trick to show later on, which, while it is amusing, it does lose a soul. And I want to make sure I have enough buffer soul
Yeah, and
to show that off.
the history of soul routing in this game, history and present tense of soul routing in this game, is very, very storied. The route that Thistle's going to be running is going to be getting us to the final strength upgrade, the maximum damage the sword can do, but there have been now two competing versions of different soul routing and a different lesser strength upgrades. The community is very active and very invested in going fast as we get here to my favorite arena in the game, the Bomb Flower Arena, because you can outsource the work to these lovely plants. That was really smooth.
Yes. We'll forget the fact that I had to kill one grunt with my sword. It's a very fun game to see if you can get all of the, you can outsource the work completely to those bomb plants in the arena. That's also my favorite arena in the entire game. It's so fun. So we just retrieved the horn that we mentioned before, and here's the Forest Mother.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. She plays this lovely tune.
Lovely to get your saxophones, get your jam emotes, get your banger emotes, get all of your musical energy for some smooth jazz in the forest.
Yes. I always like saying saxophones in the chat at this part of the run. Play along with Mom.
Yeah, if any aspiring sax players want to learn this and just like follow Death's Door Runner around, that would be super comforting to me.
I would love that. So Mom's horn playing has opened up the door to the next dungeon. But first, before we enter the dungeon, I'm going to grab another strength upgrade.
Yeah, this is an important one, and it's one of the ones that's easier to forget. And it's going to be important because of some of the upcoming enemies we're going to be fighting in this new area. There's a very powerful one that we'll be introducing soon.
Yeah, each of these dungeons has kind of a signature hard enemy. In the manor, we saw the Lickitungs. In the Mushroom Dungeon, which is what that text at the bottom right says right now, we meet spiders, not the hard enemy, but quite annoying because they have RNG dodges. But we will also, once I roll into this next room, be meeting Hammer Bros. Wait, is there a Hammer?
Not quite yet.
There's not one.
But we also did meet an NPC just there in the wall called the Frog King. That's not his full name. We'll get to that later. But much like Grandma in the previous dungeon, that's the giant soul we are here for, and also the NPC that's going to be following us around, or following you around if you play casually. But yeah, none of the creepy crawly enemies in dungeon are very fun. There's the spiders with RNG dodges, and those smaller spiders, I guess, that hide under the ground when you approach them, so you have to use projectiles to deal with them.
Spiders.
And so now that we finished this, we're going to be doing a couple different little, ideally, skips in this next area. First is this geometry little spot where we roll over the edge. Over here, if we get this, we're going to try to get this. Normally, you're supposed to hit the bomb flower, break the middle wall, and then shoot the fireball across. But we're able to actually skip that if you just go fast enough. It's a very tight window, though. And now we're onto the arena with Hammer Bros. Hammer Bros are a tricky enemy. They have a shield. They deal a lot of damage. Well, I guess they deal 1 damage, but they have a big area of attack.
That was a dodgy spider.
Just gotta keep you on your toes. Yeah, Hammer Bros is probably the biggest gulf in terms of enjoyability between my first playthrough and speedrunning the game, because casually, they are a menace. Large and fast attacks, and a shield, and a huge upswing in health. Fortunately, with some careful choreography and a pattern of baiting out their attacks and weaving in slashes where possible, Hammer Bros wind up being on par, a little less frustrating than the spiders that can just say, no thank you, and choose to ruin your day.
Some more rolling over fun terrain. And yeah, we're just going from arena to arena right now.
Is now a good time for some donations?
Sure is.
Great.
Yeah.
We've got a $25 donation from Happy by 3. Happy says, good luck, Bird Game Thistle. During one of the worst times of my life, the Death Store community helped me fall back in love with speedrunning. And Thistle, Allison, and Quack have all done more than they know to make me feel invited and cared for in the community. Thank you all so much for being the most kind and welcoming people in speedrunning. I love y'all and I love this game. P.S. Please Thistle skip, even if it's not optimal. Okay, thanks. Less than 3.
I didn't grab dungeon doors, so unfortunately I can't, Happy.
We still love you,
Yeah, thank you. For those wondering, Thistle Skip is a death warp that I discovered because I was bad at this upcoming arena.
We also have a $500 donation from Thundar that says, Burb.
Thunder.
True, not wrong. In fact, Bird.
True.
Got time for more?
Probably one more.
Okay. We got a $25 donation from Patra. It says, let's go, Thistle. Theo and I are rooting for you.
So that is pool party strats.
Hey.
Where we, bait one of the Hammer Bros into just walking into the water. We don't know why it works that way, but it does.
Yeah, the Hammer Bros AI in this room can be very easily convinced to have a moment, but this arena in particular, this wave with the triple Hammer Bros, who we didn't mention earlier, have projectiles for when you're far away from them. Bane of my existence casually, and for a long, long time as a runner as well. This is a major difficulty spike, for sure, but of course, no trouble for Thistle, including a swag dunk there.
Oh yeah, so this arena, very notoriously hard. We call it water arena because crows cannot swim. As soon as you dunk into the water, you hazard respawn. And we are on health. We're okay. I do need to make sure I have enough soul for that upgrade after Avarice 2. Spoilers. I believe I do.
We'll say PC there because we could always use that just in case. But we also get a free heal every time we go through a door to the hub world area.
And so once again, pay attention very closely to the crow's animations here. Notice how they are different from before. It's my favorite little Easter egg in the game.
Yes.
Because he knows.
We know.
He's
we
learned
know
fear.
That. Ooh. Yep. Not again.
But of course, in true Zelda fashion, got another ability on the line, gotta go through another Avarice. And in this Avarice, unlike in Avarices prior, we're going to actually see enemies that the speedrun has not yet encountered, starting with these two little sludge friends here. That is because, like we mentioned earlier in the run, the game sort of soft expects you to beat an area in totality, that is, get the ability, so get fire, and then do the tier 2 dungeon behind the fireball spell. Whereas because we are just touring all of the Avarices quickly, we are seeing some enemies that a casual player might have experienced before, but due to our routing, are brand new.
Oh wow, all of these spiders.
Yeah, the spiders are hoppy today.
Yeah. Very hoppy. Okay. Making use of our deflex here.
Nice.
And that's
Very
Ava 2.
clean.
Very smooth. So once again, we're going to go through a cutscene to pick up the bomb spell and then walk back through the hub world to move on to the next area. So we have time for a couple more donations.
Of course. We have a $20 donation from April. It says, "Let's go, Thistle. Super exciting to see you at a GDQ. Can't wait for the 4-minute PB." We also have a $15 donation from Mom6226. "Let's go and break a record today." We have a $20 donation from Scout. It says, "Crows, it turns out, are not water birds. That's why we need an umbrella to keep them dry." And real quick, I would like to let everybody know we are less than $500 away from $120,000 raised for Malala Fund, which is amazing here on the final day of the marathon. We also have that bonus game milestone incentive. It is the Flame 22 PB. If we beat that before the end of Super Metroid, we will unlock a bonus game right before our finale. So go ahead and keep donating.
Let's go. Thank you, everyone,
Yay,
so
that's
much.
awesome.
Also,
Yeah, thank you.
cutting it a little close there, you saw Thistle's soul count at the end in the bottom right was 1,001 of the 1,000 we need to grab another strength upgrade here.
Yep.
Perfect,
One
immaculate
soul
soul
left.
routing. You love to see it.
And that's with earlier when we baited the one Hammer Bro into dunking in water, which we called pool party strats. You do not get soul for that kill. I wanted to demonstrate it because it's fun, but we definitely had to grab a little bit of extra soul on the way there to do that. And now we're headed to the third and final major region of this game.
Yeah, so this is going to, well, it's not 5 towers yet.
Yeah, we're going to meet. Unlike some of the areas before, where the NPC that we have met is nefarious and/or evil, we're going to meet an NPC in just a little bit as we move through these cave areas to the next major biome. An NPC whose name is Barb. who is not only friendly and a musician, two of my favorite things, but is also low-key canonically trans, because originally Barb was a character named Brad, who was changed for the final game. Trans rights, friends.
I love that. Trans rights.
This is also...
go ahead.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so here we're about to do a little skip where we're going to try to shoot this bomb here so we can make Barb not have dialogue. It literally skips one text box if we do it early,
Yep.
but it's worth...
One text box. Hey, all time save is good time save.
And what, the auto text skipper mashes at 13 mashes per second? So we save...
Something like
someone better than me can do the math there. It's a lot of time. This is also where we have to peel back the curtain and say, thank you everyone so much who donated for the language bid war. The language difference is entirely negligible in this video game. It is just for style points. So everyone who donated for Japanese, we see you, we appreciate you, and hope you are receiving those style points.
Yeah, the number of text boxes is exactly the same across all languages except simplified Chinese. Oh, darn. So what I just tried to do here is something called diagram strats, named because they were first theory crafted using amazing MS Paint diagrams drawn over screenshots of this room, which detail where to stand, where to shoot arrows. And unfortunately, did not get it, but we were able to back it up really quickly and enter the first arena for the first crow in this new area of the map.
The big enemy that's shown in this arena is Albird, spelled Albird. And it's a nice little enemy that's going to be similar to the Hammer Bros in the other area. We're going to see him in a few different spots. But we'll show up in about half of the Crow Soul Arena. So.
Missed the interact.
Happens.
There we go.
Just want to briefly revisit diagram strats for a moment, because I don't think we've properly sold you on the majesty of MS Paint multicolored arrows. There are a number of very artistically talented people in the Death's Door community. Shoutouts to the Death's Door Flower Spirit Crochet Prize that is, I think, open now. Someone will check me on that. But MS Paint diagrams for speedrunners are functional.
I will say that prize is up right now, and I believe that is a... Oh, I just saw it. Where did it go? Let's see. Death's Door for Spirit Crochet is $20, so if you would like to donate for that, go ahead and donate.
Yeah.
So we make a quick detour here to light a brazier. That's for the second part of this dungeon. We'll revisit it later. But since it was along the way, we decided to go and light... Oh, all right.
And this is Enrina for showing off the bomb. Again, there's a magic stat that somewhat complicates things, and the game internally does use decimals, but the good rule of thumb is that your bomb does 3 times the damage of an arrow or fireball. So using bomb strats both to deal with some of the pesky mages floating out of reach, as well as... Okay, we're good.
Ooh,
as well as using it to knock
good.
the shield off of that golden hammer red.
Yeah, bombs have twice the charge time or some significantly longer charge time compared to a fireball or an arrow. So I'm always impatient and will miss fully charging it up sometimes. But we made it. We're about to save and quit. We're going to be okay.
Yeah, should be fine. The urge to plant in that flower pot is always very, very strong, but literally after flipping this lever, we save and quit and get the health back, so it's fine. Never any worry.
This region specifically has quite a few cronks that we do.
True. Here we're going to head into the second set of diagram strats. Oh, okay.
Oh, no.
We'll go around.
Unfortunately, the backup here is the walls are solid to the protagonist, but significantly less so to our spells, and so you can shoot that other lever through the wall.
Walls are a suggestion. This is true.
Very true.
We'll see even more of that later after we get the next spell. And here is the last arena for this.
Penultimate.
Oh yeah, there's one more.
The third.
Also, shoutouts to this backpack who just shows up from the middle of nowhere. Haven't seen a backpack in a minute or two. Just like reminding you that that enemy type is in the game.
Also, the spider's coming back too. This is a very strange like combination of enemies in this arena.
Yeah. This Lord of Doors statue right here is named Theodore. Is it not?
I believe that is the canon name, yes.
Yes.
Just in case you thought only the runners in the community were serving up pun after pun after pun.
Real quick,
Yeah.
I would like to thank all our donators. We have hit $120,000. Thank you for all your donations.
Nice.
Congrats.
All right, we're going to do a save and quit here, but first we have to make sure the key icon shows up so that we've properly collected it. We're heading to our fourth and final arena.
Yep, and another strategic bomb deploy here at the start. A lot of enemies have, a lot of garden variety enemies in this game have 3 or less health, so it is good to be able to pick off a couple annoying ones right at the start of waves.
Halberds they're quite tough. They're just like the Hammer Bros and a casual playthrough. I think those ended so many, not runs, but they killed me a lot. And once you get the pattern down for a speed run, it's generally not too bad, but they are still kind of spooky. All right. Now we will head to the third and final Avarice and collect our last spell, which, in my opinion, is the best spell. I'll let y'all guess what it's going to be.
And once again, for the final time this run, I invite you to pay attention to our crow's education vis-a-vis these mysterious treasure chests.
This is definitely my favorite one.
Same. Oh yeah, we're ready this time.
Brief
Do some
calisthenics.
stretches. All right, and we're gonna dive right on in.
Much like with Ava 2, in Ava 3, there are going to be a couple of enemies that we have nominally not seen before, including some very special ones like this fire mage that thankfully goes down very quickly here. That mage shoots out a wall of fire that is very obnoxious to deal with and manage other enemies with while that mage is teleporting. So that first wave is very pivotal.
And here in wave 2, we're getting these boomers, which are boomerang throwing enemies that like to jump. And jumping enemies in an isometric game is not very fun. They are very
It's
difficult
very
to
hard to
dodge.
tell where they're going to jump to. Oh. And this we call a smo. Normally, they would rotate around to hit you, but if you hug their left hip, they kind of don't, and just keep using their mace on the ground in front of them.
Yeah.
And we can dispatch them very quickly.
Quirks of having a one-handed weapon. But once again, we're going to grab our final spell here, so this is another great time for some donations.
Of course. We have so many donations coming in with love for Thistle. We have a $25 donation. This'll do more like This'll don't make any mistakes on the speed run from Eve the Veg. We have a $20 donation from Colin that says, "Let's go Thistle, best of luck." We have a $50 donation from Crow Morbid. It says, now a question might be lingering in your mind. Can't crows swim? The answer is no. Crows cannot swim because they're not water birds. They don't even have web feet like those of ducks to help them stay on the water. Due to the clunky body and long neck, swimming is troublesome for crows.
Ah, yes, the water bird copy pasta.
We have a $25 donation from TFT. They say, I had to donate for my favorite run. Good luck to Thistle on the run. Hopefully the spiders are kind today. We have a $20 donation from the Dancing Grad. They say, let's go Thistle. We know you can do DEW. And let's go. Blessed Quack and Allie on comms.
Thank you all
Thank you so much, friends.
Got time for more?
Maybe a couple more. I do want to say we are now showing off the new movement ability. It is a hook shot. And we are currently just going through the rest of Castle Lockstone, lighting up these torches in order to summon a elevator in the central area. But yeah, we've got time for donations while I run through the rest of this area.
All right, then really quick, the Super Metroid incentive is still open. Right now we have raised $1,654 out of $5,000, and we need to meet that before the start of the run, so go ahead, keep donating. And we have $17,000 until we beat our PB, and wouldn't it be nice to help us, PB? Wouldn't that be a nice collaborative effort? So keep donating. We have a $150 donation from Garnth X. What a delightfully frosty week this has been. Thank you to all the runners and the GDQ for putting together a wonderful showcase of games and good vibes.
I just want to jump in real quick here for this little gate skip here. Once again, I'm using isometric platforming nominally to get over the top of that gate using the sort of weird 3D. There are two strats there. You saw Thistle attempted on the left side and then get it on the right side, only losing a teeny tiny bit of time, so very clean overall.
And then, of course, the hook shots in the next section are also showing that walls are a suggestion, and we can just hook shot through them as much as we want.
True. All right, so this here will be the fourth and final torch. Oh, wait. I always forget that this room exists. And I've played this game a lot. Okay, now is the fourth and final torch that we light. And because we save and quit here, we get to watch a static cutscene instead of the actual summoning of this elevator. We just get to sit here for 13 seconds and watch the elevator before we can enter.
Yeah, you're supposed to see it like actually spawn in, but because it's already loaded before the save quit, we just watch Barb staring at a fully functional elevator for a second.
I mean, elevators are a modern marvel.
It's true.
True.
It's not like this game is full of birds. Anyway, with that, we are progressing to our first Tier 2 dungeon. Like Thistle mentioned, first, shout-outs to our friend Arm Day there. Hopefully this puts Leg Day into further context from way back when. With this, we'll be moving into our first Tier 2 dungeon. Like Thistle said, we're doing the Tier 2 dungeons and the bosses in the sort of reverse order. So we were going to do Watchtowers, which is the Castle Lockstone dungeon first. At the back of each of these is going to be a boss, and the bosses will, weirdly enough, also map into increasing health, because despite being the nominally third boss, the first boss we're going to fight here actually still has the lowest health. That's the major reason why the speedrun is routed like this, because it means we can get all of the strength upgrades we need to scale with the bosses.
Yeah, another thing you may have noticed is that unlike the first two areas where we saw the Frog King and we saw Grandma, we have not seen the boss of this area yet. They haven't shown up in any of the cutscenes or any sections, and I think that's just supposed to add extra suspense here. If you check the lore, there'll be a little bit of hints, but we're gonna introduce you to her shortly at the end of this area.
Yeah, and also...
Yeah, I think Barb does make some references to her as kind of like the princess at the top of the mountain or something like that. But
so get
we
your
don't
guesses
actually
in now.
physically see her. Yeah. Oh, okay. That You know what? I'm gonna safety save and quit because this area. So the second half of each of these dungeon areas become fairly enemy dense. There's a lot of movement through here. It's very easy to take damage. Since I had just taken that door, it's much safer to go into it with full health.
This is also where the soundtrack, which is already, in my opinion, one of the biggest bangers of the modern age, truly comes into its own. These tier 3 dungeons are 3 of my favorite pieces of video game music, full stop. So Watchtowers is a phenomenal opener to the wonderful dungeon soundtrack by David Fenn.
Yup. Then I will be mostly focusing during the run through in this area. This is a laser arena. We not only have to fight enemies as normal, there is a laser tracking us. It does damage. Like this, it does damage to our enemies as well. So we make use of it.
Yeah, and you'll also notice that the hook shot stuns enemies that you are grappling to, which is incredibly useful for repositioning in fights.
And of course, we got some boomers over here messing with us, as they always do.
Yeah, if anyone can tell me how to accurately tell where they're about to land, I would like to know.
This is another major asymmetry skip, I suppose. By getting up onto that ledge and careful deploy of the hook shot, you can actually just barely grapple the top of that platform and skip having to go around and open the lever, and it saves probably a couple tens of seconds of movement.
Yeah, it saves you from having to go around. At this point, I've done it so often, I don't even know how to go around properly.
That is the speedrunner way.
And every game isn't complete until it has ice physics. So we are going to slip and slide our way through the rest of this area, culminating in, you guessed it, an arena with ice on the floor.
Which is considered probably the hardest non-Avarice arena in the game.
Honestly, it's a solid contender for hardest arena, including some of the Avarices. Ice physics are brutal, but we have to run the gamut of Zelda inspirations here, and that includes the ones that speedrunners do not always love.
I'm debating, do I heal here? Well, let's heal.
You got the seeds.
All right, and this is the ice arena. This area is pretty tricky because, of course, we're flipping and sliding around while we're also trying to deal with a bunch of grunts the first part of the wave. The first wave of this arena. We did bring an extra enemy over here, so that's going to be a bit tricky. For some reason, you can get through Wave 2 and Wave 3. Both don't require defeating everybody, just all but one. For some reason. We don't understand why. But it's not too difficult.
And you notice here most of all also that the enemies are also affected by ice physics, which is mostly a problem for the grunts who like to run at you and swipe, but they skid a little bit while they do, so you can get some unfortunate attack patterns.
Yeah, this is also, I think, one of the few arenas that don't have 4 phases. This one actually has a 5th phase, which makes it a bit longer as well. But we beat the
early control? Nope. Just missed the ladder by a little bit. If you roll to the right spot, you can get early control and start climbing up that ladder immediately after the arena.
And with that, we're on to our first boss. The bosses all come with a very swanky title card that will scale in difficulty. We're going to start out very easily. This is Betty. That's what that says. That's just Betty.
Betty the Yeti.
For this boss, we're going to mostly do a few things. There's a safe spot under her, so we're going to do a combination of a heavy attack when she jumps. Then we're going to try to do a roll heavy to use iframes to not get hit.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right.
Ooh, one
Yeah,
of my
pattern
heavy
desyncs,
stuff.
it can be difficult to regain it on Betty. The fight is truly choreographed like a dance, and falling out of position can make it hard. Fortunately, there's a door right there, and the fight moves very quickly either way.
Oh. My abilities are sticking. I don't know if y'all saw that.
Alright, looks like we're back on the rotation. Ideally, we can get up damage in. Ideally, we'd be skipping this whole roll phase.
It's okay, it's more time to hear the phenomenal Betty score.
True.
Oh no. Okay, that's fine. This is fine.
Betty chain deaths happen to everybody. It's
For a while in the history of this game, there was a world record with a death to Betty in it, both because Betty is brutal and also because the fight is quick to retry, fortunately.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I cut in with a quick donation?
Go for it.
We have
for it. Yeah.
a $500 donation from Ryu. It says, "This game is so pretty and I'm having a lot of fun watching Thistle crow through it."
Okay,
Alright.
yay.
There she is.
Yeah. I think we finally fixed the ability unsticking.
It was the
The
donation
fight-
that pushed us over the top, for sure. Thank you.
Exactly. The fight, when done well, looks very easy because you're sitting under her belly and rolling, but it is actually very precise timing of the roll, so you iframe through her attacks. And there was, even a little bit of being a little bit off on the timing can cause that to happen. There we go.
And with
Have we
that,
explained? Oh, sorry.
go ahead.
Have we explained fast doors at all? I just realized.
We may not have. So consistently throughout doors in this run, the door has two parts to it. The actual wall of the door, or door of the door, I guess, that opens and shuts, and then the portal, and you just have to be overlapping the portal in order to actually transition. So in every scenario where you get spit out of a door, it starts open. So if you just walk right back to where the portal is, you'll automatically load back in. You can also use a heavy slash to sort of force the protagonist to overlap with the portal, which skips the cutscene of the door opening and you walking through. But this is the Lord of Doors, who is the world's best lord, and we'll also be seeing him later.
Yeah, he's technically our boss. And he's not very happy with the fact that we just defeated Betty.
What do you mean? He just gave us claps.
True.
Surely that
Clapped
ominous
and then-
camera pan to Death's door won't mean anything.
All right, so now we make it back over to the second half of Mushroom Dungeon after we gather a few little things here.
Yes, and now at this point, all of our major antagonists have already graciously identified themselves to us. So we're going to get one more short cutscene here with the King of the Swamp. Again, not his full title. We'll get there. As he taunts us on our way into the Flooded Fortress.
Ah, yes, the Flooded Fortress. This next segment is going to appear very serene, very calm, very chill. But remember, crows do not know how to swim because they are not water birds. And so every one of these rolls is a little spooky, especially when we're trying to go fast.
I'm so glad we had that very helpful copy pasta from earlier to help our audience understand the nature of crows and water.
Yeah, thank you, Crow Morbid. Which is... The name itself is a pun. This community is full of puns.
Yeah, so mostly here we're just gonna be doing some rolls. So if there's a couple donations, we probably have time for 2 or 3.
Of course. We've got a $10 donation from Angry Gato. It says, "Thanks, gamers, and go Thistle go." We've got a $50 donation from Zokuban that says, "What a wonderful week of gaming. Thanks to everyone on camera and behind the scenes for making this event what it is. I'm excited to watch Frost Fatale soar to higher heights, so let's get that bonus game 5. And Zoku is, of course, talking about beating our PB. If we beat our PB of $137,000, before the end of Super Metroid, we will get a bonus game of Inscription. So keep donating. We also have that Super Metroid incentive we want to go ahead and meet. So that is currently sitting at $1,854 out of the $5,000 we need. So go ahead, type !donate and donate.
Gate Skip did not want me to do it, so we're gonna go around and actually cronk the lever.
Yeah. Another cute little naming Easter egg. This NPC that we are about to encounter here at the start of this cutscene, his name is Red Shirt, and that's why he's named Red Shirt.
R.I.P.
And now the music really kicks in.
Love me some Flooded Fortress. Now we are sieging the Frog King's domain. Some might even call him the Guardian of the Flooded Fortress. Again, not his full title. But we're going to start off the assault on the Flooded Fortress with a fun little skip here to avoid going around the right path. We're instead going to aggro this boomer so that he jumps in and becomes a viable hookshot target.
Yeah, hookshot is great. We try to hookshot to as many enemies as we can. And Flooded Fortress is going to be, a lot of running, a lot of trying to hookshot away. Oh gosh, I'm being body blocked.
Blocks.
Don't you just hate to see it? Okay, I should probably, it's fine.
Now we got this, I believe.
Yeah, there is a pot we can plant later.
So yeah, now we're making our way through this precarious area for a skip that's actually replacing a different skip that we used to do that was RNG, where we would want to do a hook shot onto a mage after we shoot them with a fireball, but it was pretty inconsistent and was all RNG. But this little shot with the arrow is way easier, so it's only slightly slower, so that's what everyone goes for now.
And this is the final arena before our boss at the end of it here. A couple things to note is that, once again, we have an arena overrun with boomers whose jumping can make it very obnoxious, as well as enemies, notably a boomer or two that spawn in on the center platform. So you're going to see Thistle hookshot in and out of that center platform to pile on as much damage as possible before the boomers rejoin the main arena.
Yeah. Mostly for high DPS, but it also looks very swaggy, so we love it. And now, actually, we're almost done with this arena, aren't we?
We are
Yes,
done.
and so I mentioned before how the boss titles scaled, and it's time that we finally introduce you to the boss of this dungeon. That would, of course, be King of the Swamp, Guardian of the Flooded Fortress, Lord of his domain, Ruler of all he surveys, Champion of the people, Keeper of the Five Oaths, First of his name, Second of his other name, He who is without middle initial or mercy, Destroyer of all those who would question his rightful rule or look at him askance, Eater of the vanquished, Devourer of the indolent, Guzzler of the non-committal, Bestower of the wrathful opprobrium, and the fount of most wondrous beneficence, all glory to him and his mace, Holy Basher of toads not frogs, but really what are toads anyway, like worse frogs, right? Uglier too, smartest creature in all the land, really clever like that Einstein guy, and okay, hit the word count. If there are any Japanese speakers in the audience, you can check me on that here.
That is quite the title.
We got
And
it.
yes, that was very impressive.
Alright, so now we need to smack him on the butt a couple times to get him to the next phase. 3 hits is all it takes, and so we're already on to the next phase. Normally there's a lot of pogoing that they're doing and stuff, and tries to destroy a bunch of platforms to make it tricky on us, but we're able to just hit him a few times in the right spot, and it's super good. We're using some fireballs here, as they will hit twice, based on the hitbox of the Frog King. And now we're gonna gather some more soul and feed him a delicious bomb. Everyone knows bombs are the tastiest treats. And now, just gonna keep getting swings in with heavy, soft, or light attack rotation. And now we're on to the second side. We're actually gonna try to balance on this edge. Frog King is going to be shooting things to try to knock away all those platforms. And perfect.
Caught my breath in
Yay.
time to say GG, that's our second giant soul.
went a lot more smoothly than Betty. Yay.
And they did have the foresight to realize that people could do this. So these cutscenes will have the different amount of Titan souls or giant souls based off of which ones you've gotten, rather than showing them in the order, which is like a really cool little detail. So now we're making our way to the final area.
Yep, we will collect our final strength upgrade right here. Just before the last final boss fight, because as mentioned before, Grandma does have the most health of the 3 giant souls.
Yep. And the other thing we actually grabbed there was a dexterity upgrade.
Yep.
Which makes it so we just get a little bit faster on our attacks. It'll be useful for some future things. We had the extra souls, so we needed to use it somewhere, so.
Yep, and starting off with a fun little isometry skip here to get into the Inner Furnace. The dungeon section of this that we're going to see in a little bit is probably my nomination for my favorite song in the game. It's really close. This soundtrack is just too good. But we already know that this is a great swag strat as well, hookshotting to the bull cart in motion.
Yeah, it's a shame because normally we don't have hookshot here. Like the intended way would be that you just go through with fireball. But the hookshot movement here is some of the most satisfying movement in the game. And it's really sad that we don't get a chance to use it more outside of the speedrun.
Yeah, hookshotting through here it's so fun. It's such a treat. And we see Grandma one more time. I'm going to light this furnace next to her so that she talks to us while the cutscene of the furnace opening happens behind her.
Oh no!
Oh, by the way, she kidnapped. Yeah, she kidnapped Pothead. We gotta go save our friend. The furnace, as mentioned before, really, really great music here. And if you pay attention, you'll notice that the pistons also move in time to the beat.
It's so good.
It really just like makes it so much better.
It really does.
So, being the nominal first dungeon of the game here, you're going to see the puzzles revolve around fire, like that amazing, very diagonal shot and on that furnace, and the arenas are full of low-level enemies that we've seen in the first dungeon of the game. This is also where we see the Plague Doctor, that may have a better community name, I don't recall, that we first saw in Ava 2, if I'm not mistaken, but this is where you're supposed to run into him.
I just call it Big Bird. I'm not really sure if there's a proper name for the Plague Doctor enemy.
The big thing you're going to see here is you're going to see a lot of these sludge enemies. Slimes? I'm not sure what we call them either.
I've heard Grimer before to match Lickitung.
Yeah. Same.
Community names it's great. It's great. In a game full of puns and references, the community has leaned into that, and it's beautiful.
Well, it's a big one there. For the most part, we'll just be running past all of them. To light a furnace over here. And then avoid being pushed off by the pistons. I'm going to wait this cycle out. And then hook shot to this pot over here to skip the last piston. For the most part through here, we're going to try and find all of the angles to hookshot things that we can. Instead of going through and around these 2 platforms, we're going to kind of go here, hookshot straight to the end, and then ignore all of the other enemies around us.
Yep. And this last room is a tight cycle where the pistons will block your attempts to light each successive furnace. It was a very good fast cycle there. That can be very punishing if you miss because there's no great way to get pips back. You have to go all the way back to the start of the room, but breezing past that. Let's go, Thistle.
And then this final room, see if we can hit the fast cycle on everything. Missed it there. Since everything is in tune to the beat, we essentially try to roll to it, try to get to the pistons as fast as possible. We did get the fast cycle in the second half of the room. And then this last full cart will take us into the grandma fight.
Yeah. And I have to confess, I lied earlier, because the scaling here is such that this is the Witch of Urns, Grandma, which is so much easier to say. But yes, after Grandma insults us personally, she will fly down and start the fight, which involves her, surprise, surprise, throwing a ton of pots at us. A combination of the pots we have seen throughout the estate, manor, and inner furnace.
Ideally, if we stay nice and close with her and are hitting her a bunch, any of the exploding purple pots will actually deal damage to her immediately, and any of the ones that drop the green projectile should be right in front, so you could ideally smack it right back at her, or hit her at the next phase. We got enough damage that this should be almost done.
If I can hit her.
It's
Please
just
stop
like the
hopping,
spiders.
Grandma.
We got some hoppy enemies today. There it is.
And Grandma is
That is-
defeated.
Yep, our third and last giant soul has been collected.
All right. Hi, everybody. Well, we sort that out. We have a few donations I would love to read. We have a $15 donation from Kite Rider. It says, putting my last donation toward watching the Super Metroid cutscene. It's my favorite game, and I really enjoy the cutscene, even though it's not a part of the speedrun traditionally. Thanks for running this great event, as always. And that, of course, is going towards our Super Metroid Watch the Opening Cutscene incentive. Right now, we are just short of $2,000 raised on that. And if we hit $5,000 raised before the start of the run, our runner will watch the cutscene. We'll actually get to see a cutscene in a speedrunning marathon. I know Fant is looking forward to that, so go ahead and donate. We are Frost Fatales 2023, benefiting Malala Fund. So all of your donations are going towards a great cause, benefiting women's education and women empowerment. So go ahead, click ! Donate in the chat. We also have a lot of love coming in for this run. We have Bird with a Sword, who donates $25, and they say, I'm always busier whenever Frame Fatales happens, but I'm so glad I could catch this nice run of a game I love. Also, the protag is adorable. We have a $50 donation from Clomp Champ. They say, amplifying trans rights and sending love to everyone. Thistlebird is looking good, clean. Let's go. I would also like to shout out some of the prizes. I know everybody is donating for Malala Fund, and it's a great cause, but you know, if you donate $25, you're entered to win any of the prizes up today. And then if you have donated $125 over the course of the marathon, you are also entered to win the PlayStation 5 and Nintendo Switch game bundle that is cumulative over the course of the marathon. So go ahead, keep donating. I know everybody, I've donated a few times. I'm probably close to that. You could probably donate $25 today, the last day of the marathon, and get yourself in for that. Also, I know we've seen so many great runs all week, and I know it's sad we're getting close to the end of the marathon. That's always emotional, but we still have more to go. Right now, we're in the middle of Thistledew's Death's Door any percent, but up next we have 2 Katana Zero runs. We have a hard mode by Modulette, and then we have Katana Zero Any Percent Taz by Bartoi. After that, coming up at about 7:30, we have Super Metroid, which that incentive is for. So keep your eye on the time if you want to donate, by Fant TV. And then, of course, the big thing that we are pushing for and we want to PB on is the bonus game, Inscription. I know I said PB, and how can a marathon PB? Well, you see, last year, Flame 2022, Flame Fatales, by the way, we raised $137,000 for Malala Fund. And if we beat that record, we will unlock a bonus game, and that needs to happen by the end of Super Metroid. Right now, we're about, a little under $17,000 away. I know we're running out of time to get there, so keep donating. I would also like to thank all of our donators today. We've got so many donations in and just so much love for the marathon and the charity. And sometimes you run out of things to say, and that's fine. I'd like to thank Anonymous for their $20 donation. I would like to thank Mazzara for their $25 donation. I would like to thank David for their $50 donation. And I would like to thank Anonymous for their $100 donation. We also have a $15 donation from Stephen with no comment. So much love coming in for the marathon, even if you have nothing to say. That is fine. Just go ahead and donate, and make sure when you donate, you put all of your donations towards that Metroid opening cutscene incentive. We want to see that met, and we want to see it met soon. I'm sure we could hit that before the end of Katana Zero. We also have a $50 donation from Nolan. Thank you, Nolan. And I've just heard that our tech issues are resolved, so whenever you are ready, this'll do. Take it away.
Hello and welcome back. Sorry about the issues, y'all. We are, after collecting all 3 of our giant souls, headed back to the Grey Crow, who we met at the very start of this run, to, I guess, present the 3 giant souls and hopefully open up Death's Door. So we're just running back. He'll be waiting right here. Grey Crow did not help or do anything this entire run.
He's old.
Yeah, had us do all the work.
And this is clearly the end. There's nothing else that's going to have to happen now.
It's called Death's Door. What more could you want?
Yeah, the goal was to open Death's Door. We're opening it right now. And as long as this works, I think we're good, right?
Yep. Sounds like it. I don't think anything else can happen.
Well, I guess we might as well check out what's behind it.
Sounds like a good plan.
Oh, it's pretty bright in here. Huh. Oh, wait. Oh my gosh, it's Death.
Hi, Death.
What a friend. Look at that fanny pack.
The little
Look at him.
wave gets me every time. Shout
The
outs
little
to
finger
Death.
windows. Yeah. And I love the title card or name card for Death. How it essentially mirrors the Death screen, which we saw a couple of times during this run. But instead of it being Death for us, it's announcing Death's presence. Death is giving us some lore here, which we are going to speed right on through. If you would like to know more about the lore in this game, play it. It's fun. It's great.
It's a very good,
It's
very
wonderful.
well-written game. You should give it a shot. But in effect, the Gray Crow was revealed to have been effectively the secret fourth boss by the same mechanics that made our three major bosses those bosses. So now, of course, we are tasked with dispatching him. Death decides not to help us with this fight.
Yeah. Gives us a wave, bids us good luck. And then this fight really highlights.
Hi, everybody. It looks like we're still got some tech issues. It's all right. We're going to get Faith out of the tech room. Don't worry. But while we wait, I do have some more donations. This one came in a little bit ago, and I didn't get a chance to read it, so I'd be glad to do so now. It says, $25 from Holly. I'm so sad that this is the last day. It's been an amazing week with so many great runs. Thank you to the runners, commentators, hosts, and all the volunteers that make this event work. And an extra thank you to the entire Flame Fatales Discord for being an amazing community. I would also like to remind everybody that this event is benefiting Malala Fund. Malala Fund is working for a world where every girl can learn and lead. Traditional approaches aren't cutting it, and at this moment, nearly 130 million girls are out of school. Even more are in school but not learning. That's why Malala Fund is focused on accelerating progress, challenging systems, policies, and practices so all girls can access 12 years of free, safe, quality education. Inspired by Malala and Sudan's activist roots, Malala Funds believe that local educators and advocates provide the greatest insight, innovation, and energy needed to address barriers that keep girls out of school in their communities. Through the Education Champion Network, Malala Fund invests in their work so they can scale their efforts and leverage their collective power to create broader change to make it easier for all girls to learn. Also, I would like to shout out one of our partners, GDQ Hotfix. The GDQ Hotfix shows off communities in speedrunning that are sometimes overlooked during marathons and elevates speedrunners year-round. We have shows for all interest, including ones that can help you find new games, teach you how to speedrun, and shows focused on more niche parts of speedrunning, such as randomizers. We also have special events. For more information, go to gamesdonequick.com/hotfix. Also, be sure to tune in to some of their shows, including Legally Cute and It's Dangerous to Go Alone. I know we've talked a lot about donations. I'd also like to shout out the Yeti, one of our sponsors. The Yeti is one of our official sponsors for Frost Fatales 2023. They create amazing merch, apparel, and vinyl for video games and pop culture. And for this event, a portion of the purchase price for all items in the Frost Fatales collections will be donated directly to Malala Fund. You can find out more at www.theyeti.com. Now, chat, if you haven't looked at the Frost Fatales 2023 collection, I suggest that you do so now. The Frost Fatales 2023 collection includes a shirt with our mascot, Faith, and ice cream. Who could not want that? It's so cute. I'm sure you've seen the ice cream cart during our prize segments. Don't be afraid to go check that out. I promise the Yeti and Faith don't bite. I would also like to give everybody a big thank you. We are making progress on that Super Metroid Watch opening cutscene incentive. We are sitting at $2,354 out of $5,000. We need to hit that after our second run of Katana Zero, so keep donating. We want to see that. I want to see the opening. I think every time I've seen Super Metroid, it's been through speedrun marathons, so I don't think I've actually seen the opening cutscene yet. And chat, I know this is the last day and it's such sweet sorrow to part, but there's still a few runs left in the marathon. What are you guys looking forward to? I know there's no options to name anything Bingus, and I'm a little upset about that, but that's all right. I see a lot of excitement in chat over ice cream. I will say the Frame Fatales Discord, which is the community that puts on this event every year, was very excited by the prospect of Frost Fatales ice cream, and we were very disappointed to learn that it does not exist. All right, everybody, we've got a word from our charity. We'll be right back.
First came to the United States, I spoke zero English. I started with ABC and number 1, 2, 3. I had to start from zero.
We talk about girls' issues. We talk about what needs to be done for girls in their education and their empowerment.
Hi everyone.
أنا اسمي هدير.
Hi friend, मेरा नाम आकांक्षा है.
This is a video series in which girls from countries around the world are sharing their stories and telling what matters to them. This is Roll Call.
I grew up in a small village in northern Iraq called Sureshka. Since I was one of the minority religions in Iraq known as Yazidis, I was the main target for ISIS. At a very young age, I witnessed a Yazidi genocide right in front of me. We were heartbroken because of what happened. Today, I'm grateful that I got to a point where I am safe with my family right now, and I got to a place where I'm receiving my education just like any other boy.
معطنا نبراسكا كمش نبراسكا بيزدي قالك اللي راهينا وحياة شو مدارسها وعنو قالك عباشا معطنا هنا راستا بلدك قالك التوزيع صار مايا بس با يعني بعائلة قالك سيفتي أم هاتين قالك يزدي اللي لكم.
By the time I arrived in America, it was around graduation time. My cousin took me to one of my friends' graduation. The girl gave a speech and I sat there and I said, one day I will speak there. My own cousin, he was like, yeah, you can do it. I believe in you. I'm a freshman, but I live off campus. This is my apartment. Coming here, I wanted to be more involved. I wanted to do everything. I didn't want anything, my gender, nothing stopping me from what I wanted to do. Like I remember going to one of the after-school programs and I asked my teacher if this is only for boys, and she laughed at me. She said there's nothing here in America only for boys. For me, it was not that easy transition. I remember going to school for the first few days and just sitting down and listening to teachers talking and you're not able to understand.
حياتك صعب بداية ما إنجليزي نزاني ما نزاني بس يجي خبرش دابا أنا عم بيش كانين بس كانين ما نزاني شو بيش ده.
My dad, he said that it's just not for you to learn the language, it's for your family as well. And that immediately increased my motivation, saying, oh, I will do this for my family. And that's where I got the motivation to learn 10 vocabularies every single day. And for a year and a half, I just focused on getting that language, on knowing the language. So when I first came to America, I remember the first day, the first person that I saw and I met and we became best friends for life was Masa. During the weekends, she comes down to my college and I come down to her college. And despite education, we just try to have the best time together. She plays guitar and she plays it for me every time. And she's trying to learn some Kurdish, right?
Yeah, I'm trying.
Right now, our families are like best friends and they hang out all the time together.
Well, that's it.
It's the first day of spring basically, and then we call it Nowruz. It's one of those holidays that's it's not a religion holiday. This is really special because it's the only holiday where everybody comes together and celebrates it. You're away from the country, but you're still proud of your heritage. And just to say it, Happy Nowruz to everyone. To me, freedom is just having rights just like anybody else. To go to school, you don't need freedom for that. It's my right. Me and Masa would always say that if Americans have to study 1 hour, we have to do 2 hours. Like we have to do double, triple as them to get to the same place, because we both wanted like not statue of being refugee, like not knowing the language, stop us from continuing our education, continuing and achieving our dreams. It's women like Malala and Amal Clooney and Nadia Murad who inspire me every single day to work hard enough and to improve my skills in many different ways, just to one day I can give that back to my community and I can give back to all these girls who have been facing so many things throughout their life. And it's my dream that one day, no girl should face what I had to face.
I hope that these stories would have inspired you and that you will share it with your friends as well. And please do not forget to subscribe to our channel.
Welcome back, everybody. That was a great word from our charity, and Thistle is back with Death's Door. Whenever you are ready, Thistle, take it away.
All right. So, we're on pause, I guess. We left off starting this fight against the Grey Crow. We will be heavily utilizing Deflex to damage him. And yeah, we're just in the middle of fighting this Grey Crow. I will kind of keep kiting him around.
The main mechanic of the Grey Crow fight being, of course, that every time he is struck, he spawns these little smoke crow beast things. Community has very helpfully named Murderlings. One final pun on our way out the door here, although I suppose on our way out the door also counts. But Deflex remain our highest source of damage, so being able to kite the Murderlings around so that multiple Murderlings are not impacting Grey Crow all at once on the same frame, so that you get successive deflect damage for all of them. It was a very clean fight. Thank you for bearing with us as we had that fight straddle some technical difficulties.
Yeah, now that we've defeated Grey Crow, Death says we have one more thing left to do, and it's to go and defeat our boss, the Lord of Doors. But first, a word from Vaga, which is this crow, the leader of the Camp of the Free Crows. So these are the crows who are not employed as Reapers of Souls by the Lord of Doors, and he would like us to defeat the Lord of Doors as well. We're going to sneak in one more extra upgrade before heading into that giant door that just dropped, which will take us straight back to our boss.
And that big spooky door is the one door in the game that you do not want to attempt to fast door, because if you overshoot that fast door and you're trapped behind it, you are stuck there and must save and reload, which is a very funny way to lose a run. Ask me how I know.
This segment we call the Gauntlet. It begins, a gauntlet. We will be running through a whole bunch of movement segments interspersed with arenas, during which we need to hit the Lord of Doors for 15 damage each time.
Yeah, each one will end when there's a door, which leads to the next section, and it will go back and forth between if it's an arena or if it's a platforming / movement section. And this is the first one with the door bowls.
Adorables. It's great.
All the way through to the end.
Oh. Yep. Oh, okay. That hook shot did not auto-aim properly. There we go. So that's the end of the first movement section. And each of these arenas you'll probably find kind of familiar. They throw you back to each of the 3 areas that we visited during this game.
And the Lord of Doors is going to learn different moves for each of these that'll be reminiscent of the bosses from each area.
First one, we don't even see it. Ideally, you skip the arena-specific attack with a very careful damage rotation, and then at the end there, just like with most of the doors in the game, the portal for Vidor spawns before Vidor actually drops in, so by moving to a very specific area at the end of each Lord of Doors phase, you can insta-door and advance right to the next Gauntlet phase. We'll see it again here after this Ruins fight.
Yep, so right here is where the door would drop, and we can skip the animation of that door dropping by standing there right as Lord of Doors snaps their fingers. I think they use they, them pronouns. Okay. So here we're heading to the third arena. Getting that damage cycle is super important in this one. Cool. Because if we don't, Lord of Doors will do the Betty roll.
And as we enter this final Gauntlet phase, I think I know the answer, but just to confirm with our host, will we be fighting Lord of Doors with an umbrella today?
You will. That incentive raised $1,500. Thank you all for your donations.
Okay, well, let's switch to it right now. Look how stylish this is.
What a dapper little bird gentleman.
We will be staying dry today. So now we're entering the final fight. Time will be at the end of this fight.
In the meanwhile, we get to enjoy the simply beautiful umbrella hit sound effects.
And I guess, in case we are running low on time, if y'all want to do shout outs or say anything while I'm whacking away, feel free.
Sure, I can jump in. I'll just say we've heard a number of the voices of the Death's Door community throughout the run today via some donations, and also I know a lot of y'all are in chat. Death's Door is one of the most phenomenal, most pun-laden, most mutually supportive communities I've had the privilege of being on the internet. Play this game, y'all. It's truly too good, casually and with speed.
Yeah, the community Discord for the game also has a big speedrun section where we all hang out and cheer each other on and share our different strats and stuff. It's a pretty popular speed game. It's definitely worth looking into and playing, or just playing casually if you want something that's between a Zelda-like, a Souls-like, and a Metroidvania. Fantastic game, fantastic community. Hope to see some of you there.
Real quick, I'm going to read one last donation for this run. We got Mika donating $25. They say, Thistle, you are amazing, and it's so exciting to see you on this event with an amazing game. Also, with Quack and Allie on comps, this is going to be epic. Trans rights indeed.
Hey, and there it is. That's time.
Oh, very
GG.
clean umbrella, Lord of Doors. GG, Thistle.
GG. Yeah, shout outs to the wonderful Death's Door community, to my community, to Frame Fatales, to all the friends who supported me along the way, encouraged me to do this run. Shout outs to my comms. Y'all are amazing. And yeah, play this game. It's great.
Thank you for that amazing run, Thistle. We have a $100 donation from Lexer. It says, I've been waiting all week to see Thistle knock Death's Doors out of the park. Thank you, DDQ, and good luck, Thistle. You're awesome. We are going to head to a break really quick. We'll see you on the other side. Hello, everyone. Welcome back from the Twitch break. This is Frost Fatales 2023. I was your host, Critique Quartz. It was such an honor to host for you on this final day of the marathon. But as all things must do, it is time for my hosting shift to come to an end. But I'll see you again sometime. And without further ado, we do have a prize segment. So here's a word from our wonderful prize team.
Oh, hey, Frozen. Do you have a second?
Oh, yeah. Come in. I'll come over here to the prize,
cool. Hey,
prize section.
So since it's the last day of Frost Fatales, I just wanted to meet up with you to see what you wanted to post on Instagram and Twitter for prizes. Because I know we went over it a little bit earlier today, but I know you have more. And so I see you've got a couple, so can you show me a couple of them?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that there's a lot of great prizes you and the social media volunteers could show
totally.
on Twitter especially. So there's a few that I think we can put together because they have
okay.
matching games.
Sure.
So I think let's start out talking about Hollow Knight because that's our finale game that we're, that's our finale.
Okay.
And so we have, first of all, we have this grub, which is so cute. I love it. I think it could really go together with the Hollow Knight statue that we have. But it's important to say that, we have the grub from Delta Craft and the Knight sculpture are from V-Show. And they are different prices. The grub is $10 and the Hollow Knight one is $15.
Okay, great. Yeah, we can just like put them together and they're just gonna have a little ice cream party.
Oh my gosh, that'd be so cute. Because we want to make sure it's matching our theme of the ice cream. That's such a great idea. This is why you're our social media lead. Okay. So keeping on with the games we have coming up in the marathon, we can just kind of keep with that theme. We have a few Super Metroid stuff. Do you want to see that?
Oh, that would be great. Fans love Super Metroid. I
know. It hasn't been at an FF event for a while either, so excited for it to be back. We've got, we have this giant Samus Perler.
I have not seen this yet. This is absolutely gorgeous. Look how tall she is.
I know. This is a very big Perler. That might be something that's hard to get on, to see the sizing of it in the picture. What do you think?
I think we could put it on Instagram stories. I think it would be fine because of the vertical shot on it. But yeah, no, this is absolutely stunning.
Awesome. Yeah, well, we have that, and I'm really excited to show you the other thing we have from Super Metroid.
We have more than one thing.
Oh, yeah. We have so many. I mean, you can see all of the prizes at GamesDoneQuick.com and just click on prizes if you want. But we do have this one in the studio. It's a Brinstar map. Like, look at this. It's just, when I saw it, you have the wood, you have the pins that show, I think, all the save points of the game. I love it.
This is like professional grade office work. You know what I mean? You can put this anywhere in your home. And I think this would be really cool for an amazing gaming setup.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, on the back, it does have a mount already.
Yeah, so you can hang it up. Yeah, absolutely. No, this is gorgeous.
Yeah, the thing you want to remember is that, it's a $25 minimum donation sent in to us by Minturn makers.
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
And you can also mention when you're talking about that one, $25 gets you in to win every single prize we have today.
Oh, wow. Okay, so everything that you mentioned earlier and right now.
And right now, exactly. So $25, you want to just remind the audience of that. That's the easiest thing. You're going to write that down. Okay, cool. Yeah, we do have a few prizes that I won't be able to show you like in the studio.
Oh, okay.
But if you need pictures of those, you can just go to GamesDoneQuick.com, click on prizes, and they have pictures of all of them, like the iron-on patches from Wolf and Wings.
Yeah, those look so cool.
I really like how it's a mix of a bunch of different games. We have Sonic, we have Metroid, and it's $15 for the entire set.
I remember we were talking about something with like self-care. Dude, you have those bath bombs?
Oh my gosh, yes. We were talking to like how we de-stress after the marathon.
Are these them?
Yeah, here.
Oh my gosh.
There's four different ones from different games. We got the rupee, got the Pokeball, I think that's the Heartless emblem. This looks like it's from Undertale, got the Pixel Heart. Yeah. So you could definitely talk about all four of these.
Yeah, a little self-care in your gaming life. And there's toys in them.
There is toys. That's what Sent was telling me. I was like, that is something you wouldn't know just looking at the pictures. So I'm glad that he told me.
I've never used a bath bomb before, so that was a surprise for me.
Yeah, that would be a great prize for anyone here. Sure. And lastly, we can talk about the Death's Door Forest Spirit crochet.
Oh,
because we just had Death's Door.
Right. Yeah.
So that would be a good way to remind the audience, like, didn't you love that Death's Door run? We do have the crochet from Mikarin.
Sure. Oh, awesome. Yeah,
and that's just a $20. That's just a $20 minimum donation.
Okay, so that's $20.
So if you need me to I can text you that and make sure I get all the prices right because I know it's a lot to handle.
Okay, I have one last question, and then I have to go back in the back of the little meme team table.
Okay.
Do we have a grand prize?
Oh, yeah, of course. We absolutely have a grand prize. But I think the thing is sometimes it can get confusing. This is a cumulative donation. Okay. It's not $125 throughout the entire week.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, if you donated Monday through the rest of the week, including today, it has to be a total of $125.
It does. And and actually, we have it in right here.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, no, we have both consoles. We have a Switch.
Okay.
You know, I love my Switch. I actually brought it here to this.
I brought mine too.
We brought my Switch. And we have 6 Nintendo Switch games to go along with it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's every single game we've had in the marathon on Switch.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, it includes Metroid Dread, Fire Emblem Three Houses, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe,
of course,
Captain Toad Treasure Tracker,
yes,
Skyward Sword,
okay,
and Grease.
Iconic.
All 6 of them. I know.
Absolutely beautiful.
And I mean, I was shocked to see this. We actually do have a PS5 here. It's heavy.
Is this real?
Yes, it's very heavy. I hope you can see me struggling with it.
No, I just wanted to see if the box was real. The box is very real and it is very heavy.
It really is. So 2 consoles, 6 games, $125 total.
Okay.
So that can be, something you really want to push on the socials right now.
Okay, one last thing. I'm going to be selfish. Do you want to take a selfie with me?
Oh, yeah. And I feel like we haven't gotten to really take a picture together yet. Let's do it.
It really pays to have long arms, everyone.
I know. This is great because I would not be able to do this. Okay.
All right. Okay, I got it.
Perfect. Okay, I want to see it.
It's so cute, isn't it?
I know. It's really great that we get to take a picture in the studio and all that good stuff.
But yeah, no, I'll make sure I get the ice cream out and set up and everything, and it's going to be good. But yeah.
Anything else?
No, how have you been?
Things are really great. Yeah. I mean, super happy with the donation pace of the marathon. All the runners have been doing an amazing job.
Yeah, it's just been really fun here, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like being around a bunch of the volunteers and a bunch of the studio staff.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just hanging out. Just having a good old time.
Yeah.
Wow. Today's the last day.
Isn't that great?
You two know you're live, right?
What?
Welcome back, fine friends, to the final day of Frost Fatales 2023. I'm Pippi in a top hat, and I am delighted to be on this journey with y'all as your host for the next few runs. I'm especially excited today to share with y'all that, oh my goodness, we're less than $16,000 away from beating our Fatales PB of $137,174, which is both an incredible accomplishment already all on its own, but also a tempting opportunity. So, come on, chat. Let's be speedrunners and crush that PB and unlock that inscription bonus game so it can be on the schedule where it belongs. We've had amazing donations from all of you generous folks out there. And, hey, it's my time to read some of those. My favorite time of day. Here is $25 from Spin Their Yarns, who says, Inscription is one of my all-time favorite games. Let's hit that PB and get it up there on screen. We also have a lovely reminder from Joey Mack, who donates $50 to say donation goes to watching the Super Metroid opening cutscene. We have to make this marathon last. Yes, we do have another incentive open. Please, when you're making your donations to hit that PB, remember to put them towards the Super Metroid opening cutscene incentive, which is only a little over $2,000 away. Don't you want to see an opening cutscene? Every minute counts on Fatales, right? And let's get to those minutes that count, because I hear Katana Zero is up next and is ready to go. So give it up, everyone, for Modulati and Katana Zero.